Well, hello, and welcome to OMAR'S Garage. Today we will be working on renovating my garage. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm actually going to be redoing the floors. The floors are pretty nasty, so I have to clean them up. I've already gone and vacuumed and, done a pretty good job of getting everything pretty clean and in preparation. And I'm going to finish painting that wall. So if you guys have been watching my channel, you'll know that at some point I painted half of it. And I said I'll get around to the other half and just never got around to it. So I'm going to be doing that now. I'm going to be repainting the walls, but hopefully I will also do a video on doing the floors, because I'm going to do I'm going to paint the floors, and that's going to be a little bit of a project. All right, so I've gone ahead and done a pretty thorough cleaning of the floor, and right now I just power washed it. I used a degreaser, and that took up a lot of the the grease and grime on there. So now I'm going to go ahead. I got one of these, and I'm going to mix some of the acid etch, and I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning this floor and get it prepped for the final paint. All right, the kit comes with this etch solution. There's my kit that I got. Garage High Gloss Extreme Gray. So it comes with this etch solution. You're supposed to mix 1 packet to 2 gallons. This is the biggest I could find. Home Depot's out of the big ones because of all the everything's getting sold out. So this one's 1.7 gallons or something like that. So it's not quite 2, but it should do. I'm gonna put this packet in there, and we're gonna mix this up. Go ahead, and I'm gonna pour. Okay, so far I've laid down the etch, cleaner etch, and I have brushed the entire floor. I power washed it again, rinsed it twice, and now I'm going to take a squeegee and I'm just going to get rid of all the water left behind. All right, so we have, I guess the process right now, we have cleaned it, we have degreased it, we have acid etched it. It's dried about 2 days now. It's been raining, so I wanted to wait until we didn't have as much humidity. And now, so what we're gonna go ahead now is I'm gonna give it one last sweeping and or vacuuming, and just to get any more dust that might have blown in through the garage door. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start laying down a paint. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start mixing this. There's a part A and there's a part B. You need to roll this, and eventually you're gonna pop. And once that opens up, then you can start mixing this. All right, so I'm gonna get started. I got the roller that came with the kit. I have a brush, a 2-inch, they say 3-inch. All I have right now is the 2-inch. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna start in the back. I'm gonna pour a 4 to 5 inch strip of paint. And then from there, I'm gonna cut into the edges, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go just spread it, without putting too much pressure on the roller is what I've seen. So I'm gonna cut open the bag now, and we're gonna just start pouring it directly from the bag onto the floor. Well, it's coming along. I'm doing coatings. I've done, I think, half of this bag. I don't even know if I'm gonna have enough for this whole garage, which I've heard is a complaint. But I just grab a pinch, just throw it up in the air, and that lands. You can't really see it there, but in the camera, Okay, so this is one bag of the paint, and I was able to do a majority of one side. So I'm guessing with the piece that I have left, that side's wider, so that piece plus this little L section, I should hopefully be able to finish all that with that one bag that I have left. So I'm thinking that I'm going to be able to finish the whole garage with just one bag. I've cut the corner here with a little bit of paint that I had left. And from there, I made sure I got into all the crevices in the corner so I can just use a roller there. But from that, I think what I may end up doing might be faster is to just go ahead and cut all the edges first instead of doing it as I go along. I didn't want the paint to dry, so that's why I didn't do it that way. But I think it's gonna be easier for me to just go ahead with a brush and just cut those corners. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do that now. All right, as you can see, I've actually finished with the floor. See the chips there. And everything turned out okay. And I'll talk a little bit about that when I finish up. But it went down pretty smoothly. And, I had just enough to finish the entire garage floor. So I guess if you have this size garage, 2.5 possibly, is the correct amount. So I can give you some insight on how it went, give you a couple tips. So if you're doing this, then you know what to avoid and how to do things. The first thing that I want to let you know is that the rollers that come with the kit are trash. Both of them fell apart on me. So luckily I had an extra roller, and it wasn't the adequate one. It was a lot thicker, so it was a lot harder to use, but I was able to finish the floor. I think halfway through it, both rollers failed on me. I mean, the foam kind of came off of the roller, and they were unusable. So definitely pick up some extra rollers so that you have them on hand, or just start using the different rollers rather than the ones that come with the kit. Second, I didn't use the patching for the cracks and crevices on my concrete floor. It didn't really matter to me. I don't want something that's, it didn't have to be perfect. But after I did it, I noticed a lot of these cracks that I hadn't noticed before. So when you have bare concrete, you won't notice a lot of these cracks. But when you lay this paint down, it kind of amplifies that, and you'll be able to see the cracks. I'll show you, I'll give you an example. These are all cracks that, these finer cracks I didn't even notice up until I did that. So I would definitely go ahead and patch up all these cracks. Rust-Oleum sells a product in order to do that. It's not a difficult thing. You just mix the two parts together, and then you can go ahead and with a spatula and lay them down. I didn't do it. Maybe in the future, if I decide to repaint, then I'll have to sand this down most likely and redo it. But in the future, I may do that. It doesn't bother me. It's not a big deal. The flakes, I've read that some people say that there's not enough flakes. I didn't even go too heavy with the flakes. You'll see them here, some spots, but they're to my liking. But I actually had an extra bag left over. The other thing is with this bag, you see the bottom of it, it's really fine flakes, and at the top, everything settles to the bottom. So I would say shake the bag up also, so that the smaller flakes, because otherwise when you get towards the end of your project, you're gonna have a lot of these fine flakes that you didn't have in the beginning. It dries pretty quickly, so try to make sure that you have enough time to do this. So the other thing is I got the kit that was for a 2.5 car garage, and I just had just enough to finish this. This is pretty much a 2-car garage, but I do have that little nook that you can in the back that you can consider like a half garage. So this is a pretty decent sized garage, and I think that the amount of paint was like just enough. Like when I got to the end, there was nothing left over. So I just made it. I know some people have complained about not being enough, but for me, it was enough. Honestly, if I wanted to do this where I had everything was like perfect, what I would recommend is you lay down, you buy an extra, set, buy a 2.5 garage set and then buy an extra one garage car set. I would first of all patch up all these cracks, and second, I would probably lay a base coat, one coat down, and then once I've done the entire garage, I would probably go over it, let it dry, a couple hours, so that way it needs about 8 to 10 hours in order to dry. I would let it dry 8 to 10 hours when you can actually walk on it, and I would probably lay down another coat at that time with that extra garage kit. And then I would lay the flakes down, just so that you have better coat, because there's certain areas where you can see a little bit. Let me try to find something. Here, I think there was probably it was rougher here, and there was a lot of oil here. I cleaned it up as much as I could, but there's still little spots where it's a little darker because the concrete kind of comes through. I guess it wasn't as thick. In order to avoid that, I'd probably do 2 coats. But like I said, I'm not too worried about that. We'll see how this turns out in the long run. I'll do an update and we'll see how it goes. All right, so that's gonna be it for my garage floor. I'm pretty happy with the results. It turned out pretty well. It's definitely glossy. I didn't put any of the no slip additive. It's not slippery at all. I'm sure, well, it's slipperier than the concrete floor, but I'm sure if it was wet or if there was some kind of dirt or dust on it, like sawdust, then I'm sure it would be a lot slipperier. I'll do an update later on. I'll let you know how, the day-to-day use of it is. But so far, everything turns out, looks pretty well. I haven't driven it on it. I'm gonna let it cure for at least 3 days. The directions say to let it cure for 24 to 36 hours. So like 1.5 days. I did mine on a Saturday. I probably will park my car on here on Tuesday or Wednesday, most likely Wednesday. But I'm gonna give it a good 3 full days in order to cure. But last night, I finished around 2. By 10 o'clock, it wasn't tacky anymore. I could walk on it. Right now, it's smooth. I'm walking on it actually with my socks, and it's not sticking to the floor or anything. So everything seems fine. I'm starting to put, things back into the garage, and everything turned out really well. So I definitely recommend the product. It's the RockSolid Rustoleum. I'll put a link in the description. It's not a paid advertisement, but I think, it's a pretty good product. It does, it has pretty good coverage. So far I'm pretty happy with it, and we'll see how long it lasts. And that's the main thing. Once you get the tire, once you get the weight of the vehicles, especially my Tesla. My Tesla is an extremely heavy vehicle with those batteries. So that's gonna be, much more than the Porsche 911. That's a much lighter car. So we'll see how it turns out. I'll do an update later on for the long run. Thank you for watching. Hope this helps you out. Hope it helps you make a decision on what product to use. Like I said, this is a RockSolid Rustoleum, and I'll put a link in the description for it. And that's gonna be it. So if you enjoyed this video, if it helped you out, if it helped you apply this product, just leave a comment down below and let me know how it worked out for you. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button, comment, hit the notification bell, do it all. And I just want to thank you all for watching. Y'all take care.